Hey guys, the Realmus Online here, and it's another battle. It's going to be two videos in one. The same guy challenged me twice. He challenged me to a singles battle, and it's versus Timothy. Hey there, Timothy. So, I opened with Jenny. Now, I don't really have any singles variant to Jenny. I have a singles variant to Togekiss and Whimsicott, but I don't for Jenny just yet. So, I try to set up the screens just to see if I can tank whatever's coming in. He goes straight in for that U-turn on his frog, and I do get off the light screen, but it doesn't matter. He goes straight into Mega Gengar. That is going to completely screw me over. Jenny does have, she is stacked in the special defense, but that doesn't matter because Wigglytuff does not have the best defenses in the world. It has all it really has is high HP. It is basically Generation 1's version of Wailord. It has amazing HP and then shit defenses. So as you can see, even with that light screen, Sludge Bomb does a lot of damage, and it gets the poison. Some hacks right there. Even with Citrus Berry, I'm not going to tank another hit. So Jenny was pretty useless this battle. I do try and go for the wish, thinking you know it could be cocky, it could go for a different move, and I could get the recovery, but he doesn't. He goes straight for the Sludge Bomb again, finishing Jenny off. Didn't really do much, and as you'll see later on in the battle, that light screen does not do anything for me. It fades before it can do anything. So I go into Hanako, who does have Psychic type moves, and I'm expecting him to Sludge Bomb me, and I should be able to tank a good hit behind that light screen, but he doesn't. He goes for the Toxic. I was not expecting that. Most Gengars only have offensive moves, so I was really taken back by that. That took me completely off guard. And it doesn't get one hit KO'd by that Psychic. Hanako is calm. Was it calm? It's the nature that it lowers attack, increases special defense. But that does normally one hit KO get Mega Gengar, so I'm guessing it was slightly tanky. Which makes sense when you see the second video, but I'll get there when we get there. He goes into his Florges, completely warning Hanako out, which is really annoying. I'm now just sitting there thinking, great, it's wall versus wall, I'm Toxic. I do have Toxic on my Florges, so as you can see there, Hanako uses Toxic on his. So I'm thinking maybe I can just Toxic stall it, get off a few wishes, then switch into someone else. But as you're going to see, things don't always go to plan, and yeah, I do not carry Aromatherapy on mine. I am completely status moves like Will-O-Wisp, Toxic. They can wreck my team. I have nothing to clear those. So yes, it's pretty annoying. Wall versus wall, not much to say. I go for the Psychic because I'm just trying to get some damage out. He did use Wish, and I was expecting him to go back into Mega Gengar to pass that Wish across, but he doesn't. So that Psychic did next to nothing, and as you can see, he has Aromatherapy. So yes, my Florges Hanako is completely useless. It's a shame, but my defensive Pokemon were completely useless in this battle, which is really annoying. It was that Gengar that was really worrying me. I couldn't get anyone into that. So I go into Stella knowing I can take a hit, I can take a Toxic. Ugh, sorry about that, I have a cold. So yeah. He switches right out into his Rhyperior. On the turn I switch Stella in, which is pretty annoying because I'm not sure if that thing is carrying Iron Head. So I switch it back into Hanako to scout out his moves because Hanako is not going to be useful to me anymore. He goes to the Stone Edge and gets the crit, finishing Hanako off, but it kind of tells me that he doesn't have any Steel type moves, so I'm kind of okay. So here I go into Euphemia with Trace. I'm trying to see if it has Sturdy or Reckless. If it has Reckless, then I know I can one-hit KO it with Hyper Voice, as long as it isn't holding a Focus Sash, which it isn't, as you will see in a few seconds because I am narrating far too quickly. So I Mega Evolve Euphemia, and I'm going for that Hyper Voice. This version of Euphemia is modest, and she is stacked in HP and special attack, so she is quite tanky. He goes back into Frog, and you're going to see some hilarious hacks right here. He goes for the Dark Pulse. I'm not entirely sure why, because that will hit me for neutral damage. But he gets the critical hit, and he gets a flinch. Wow. Then he goes for Dark Pulse again, and guess what? Flinch again. So Euphemia's hardly done anything. She's taken out one Pokemon and it's getting pretty, you know, oh god, she's about to faint, but she doesn't. She hangs on barely, and I'm about to cough again. Ugh. So he goes into back into his Florges to absorb my Hyper Voice. It absorbs it pretty well. Maybe he was thinking just in case that it survives, I'll go into a special wall. Good idea on his part, but then I have Psyshock. I always carry Psyshock on Euphemia because that lets me take out special walls like this in 1 or 2 hits. No problem. Down it goes. He goes into Chestnut, maybe expecting to outspeed me, but Euphemia does have maximum speed IVs as well. I outspeed it, I get off the Hyper Voice, it goes down. It was completely useless. Not much else to say there. He goes back into Frog. I wasn't quite sure what he had left yet, so I wanted to keep Euphemia just in case he had another slow threat. I go into April. I'm trying to basically troll him at this point. He goes for the Dark Pulse. It's not going to do anything to April. This version of April she's not as defensive as the other version, as the doubles and triples version of April. The singles version of April relies on Big Root Leech Seed to stay alive. She's more offensive. I was expecting U-turn. That's why I did my Cotton Guard, but he doesn't go for U-turn. He goes for Ice Beam. I should have seen it coming, but I guess I got a bit too cocky for a moment there and takes April out. She was more useless than Jenny, because at least Jenny managed to do something that could have potentially helped me in the long run. I go into Stella the Xerneas, knowing that this Greninja cannot deal too much damage to her. Yes, I consider Xerneas a girl, what of it? It goes for the U-turn. It doesn't matter. You've given me a free turn of setup. Thank you very much. People might think that Power Herb Xerneas is a little bit cheap, but there are ways to counter it. The main one is making sure you have pressure on the field when Xerneas comes out. If you give Xerneas the chance to set up, then you are kind of setting up for your own demise. You need to keep the pressure. So had he gone into something like Mega Gengar instead of the Florges, then I would have been in trouble. But he didn't, so I take out his Garchomp pretty easily. He gets into his Gengar, but it is too late. I've got the Geomancy off, and for some strange reason, words are not coming to my brain. My brain is in slow motion for some reason. I KO the Gengar, and I think all he has left is Frog, who will come out Water Dark. He'll be weak to Moonblast and slower. I'm testing a new build for my Xerneas. It's a bit of a tanky build that completely relies on Geomancy for damage and speed. So that was the end of the first battle. He wasn't happy with that, so he instantly re-challenged me. Now, you know, I don't really get when people are like, well, I lost, so I'm going to re-challenge you, and then I'm going to keep re-challenging you until I win. I don't get people like that, because as you're about to see, I now know what his Pokemon are capable of, how they synergize, and the way he thinks, basically. I'm now inside his mind. I have Gardevoir because I know she can take a hit from this Mega Gengar. He switches out. That tells me that that Gengar does not have maximum speed, because he wouldn't have switched out otherwise. He was worried that my Euphemia would outspeed his Gengar. He goes into his Greninja, his Frog, which is Dark type obviously, so he is going to completely absorb my Psyshock, but I was fishing for that Frog. I wanted that Frog to come out, so I can go right into Stella and set up that Geomancy. That was his biggest mistake, switching out. He should have stayed in, because Mega Gengar would have been able to outspeed Euphemia. I'm not entirely sure if she could have survived a hit from it. If it was a modest Gengar, then it could have one hit KO'd her, because super effective and that kind of damage is scary from a Mega Gengar. But I get off the Geomancy even after a Dark Pulse and a Surf. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I am now a special wall that is faster than everything you have and more powerful. So yeah, I fished for Frogs, I got Frogs, and then Xerneas comes out and it's like, Geomancy, bitch! He switches out his Frog because he knows that I'm going to outspeed it. He goes right into his special defense wall. He is desperate to stop this thing. I get off the T-Bolt. and it doesn't do too much damage. He's probably sitting there thinking, okay, this is cool, I can wall this thing out. No, you can't. Fairy Aura plus Moonblast with plus Stab. Your Florges is going down, mate. And even if I didn't, if I knew I didn't have the power, I am running Psyshock as well on my on Stella. He gets into the Gengar and he's about to get a face full of Psyshock. That's why I love Psyshock so much. If anything tries to specially wall me, Psyshock. So as it comes out, that Gengar is not surviving. It probably would have fainted to a Moonblast as well. That's how powerful Stella can get after she's set up. He goes into Rhyperior. I'm not sure why. He saw Mega Gengar destroy this thing with no setup. If it can't survive, Euphemia, it can't survive Stella. It goes down. He goes into Frog, and I think he forfeits here because he realizes, yep, it's not gonna happen. And he didn't really challenge me after that. So thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, like, favorite, subscribe, share, blah, etc, etc. And stay tuned for more. I will be testing out this fairy type team more tomorrow. It is like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm about to cough again. Oh dear. Hopefully I will be better tomorrow. I'm going to my dad's over the weekend, so I'll try and do as much versus recording as I can while I'm at his, and you might see more the coming Monday. I might also be posting things like Final Fantasy XIV and Phantasy Star Online 2 videos once I get my new TV, because this bloody thing broke on me. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.